What's up, everyone? Drew, aka Catching Rockets here. I hope y'all are having a good day. Had a good day. Pretty wild. Have to say, I was not expecting this today. We have been talking about this for a few days. If we go to ES, go to the daily chart, and I'm not going to draw it again, but we had the diamond top pattern forming. I was expecting one more day of upside before they did the move down. It looks like they accomplished what they wanted to accomplish. You will probably notice it's not often that I leave a bunch of old levels on the chart like this. And that's because I kind of figured they were going to be bouncing, bouncing and then downside, bouncing, downside, so on and so forth. I was actually expecting a little bit lower. I was expecting them to go to 64.16 and a quarter, but they didn't give it to me. For people that were live, I think last night, this was frustration for me. Let me try to see how to show this. I got in short right here or right here. I don't know, somewhere around there. And my target was 64.51 and a quarter, right? We came within 3 points of that, and then we bounced, and my stop loss was like somewhere here, and they stopped me out, and then swoop, and they hit my take profit. I really appreciated that. It was, love it when they do exactly what I expected them to do, but they got to go and run and stop me out first. A little bit painful when something like this happens. But I practice what I preach. I didn't move my stop loss. Don't really care that I was 3 points away from my take profit level. I was up 12 points on my ES trade, and then they bounced it and stopped me out. Such is life. That is trading. If I move my stop loss, I wouldn't be the trader that I am, and I wouldn't be the profitable trader that I am. And so I guess I get to take this loss on the chin. But that was pretty dirty of them. I did catch another play. I got short here and closed here. And for that trade, I had more confidence than I did for this trade. This I just traded 2 MES, and this I used my full-size position. So pretty significantly green on the day, just based on this small move here. All right. Anyway, again, I was expecting one more day of upside before they made the move, but we've been talking about this for a couple of days. We had that diamond top pattern at the top, and just a matter of time before they dumped this, right? I want to get rid of all these old levels now on ES, even though I'm not charting ES. It's killing my OCD. All right, let's clean up our SPY chart here. Figure out what we are watching for tomorrow. All right. Yeah, I wouldn't have been trying to play any HVNs today. At least not until we got down here and started ranging between the two. I didn't get the, I didn't wake up to trade this morning because I thought today was going to be choppy. I woke up, I looked at my phone, Didn't seem like anything was really happening, so I rolled over and I went back to sleep. But that was pre-market, and I just kind of assumed today was going to be a choppy day. So I didn't really see, but based on what I saw when I woke up, I wouldn't. I even said it in Keenan's Discord, like, don't try to catch a falling knife. Um, yeah. I don't know. All right. TPO single prints up here at the top. I should also share with you guys, I think I got some good news today. Um, and when I say that, like, significant news, not anything. Um, Pretty big news. Oh, and also, I don't have any option setups for today. When we get a big move like this, kind of invalidates what I look at when I'm looking for option setups. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to breathe here. I don't know. My I guess stress and anxiety levels are a little through the roof right now. Just because of the stuff I was dealing with before I went live. Um, I'll just share it at the end, and that way people that just want like the charting can get the charting. People that are interested in what's going on in my life can hang out and listen, and that way I'm not boring people that are not interested. A part of me really wants to delete this, and a part of me wants to leave it there. Anyway, let's do the whole big picture thing. Let's look at our fear and greed index. We should be on the lower side of greed right now, I would guess. We're going to be over here somewhere. Yeah. I don't even know why I look at this. I already know where we're going to be. You guys probably think my mouse is pretty much exactly where it is. I do not look at this beforehand so that I can try to be right in front of you guys. Tomorrow, big day news-wise. We have FOMC Waller member speaking. An hour and a half after the open. We have the FOMC meetings minutes at 2 p.m. Eastern. And that's going to create some movement, obviously, some volatility. The morning prior to this might be choppy. It's generally advisable just to not trade the morning before the meeting minutes come out. Tomorrow, we have a lot of news that we need to be aware of. Before the market opens, unemployment claims, manufacturing index, manufacturing PMI, flash services PMI, existing home sales, the Jackson Hole Symposium, which is an all-day long event, and then a lot of stuff in Europe before the market opens. So a lot of news on Thursday. Just a heads up, I have workplace violence class tomorrow morning, so I have to go into work and sit in a stupid ass class for 4 hours. hurts my feelings. So I will not be live trading tomorrow. I won't be calling anything out. I won't be in the chats, so you guys will not be hearing from me. So, just remember my words. Don't trade until FOMC meeting minutes come out, and then expect some crazy volatility. Let's zoom out, look at the big picture on SPY. I traded live today for people that are members of the Dean list, and I was talking about this, right? Or actually, I guess maybe I should draw it like this now. It's like a bull megaphone pattern, which is a variation of a bull flag, right? Excuse me. If this is a bull flag and we draw our fibs on this, and my only issue with this is we don't have any levels above, so I have to assume that this is resistance since we've created a double top right there. Bull flags at resistance generally are where they fake out retail, right? But if this is a true bull flag, or even if they are going to fake out retail, if we make it down to this zone here is where we want to slap calls, right? There's a chance that they do this, right, and grab retail's liquidity, making them think that we're breaking out of this flag, and then they dump it. So for me, if I was trying to trade this, I would be trying to get in the golden pocket here and close at 646. If you do take it and for whatever reason they keep going down, you would get stopped out as soon as they cross 632 and 74 cents. Once you lose the 50% retracement, the flag is invalidated, and that trade is out of play. So that's kind of what I'm seeing right now, like on the higher time frame, bigger picture kind of stuff. Yeah. Oh my gosh, man. If you guys knew what it was, it's just, so like, I mean, it's crazy that we even have to do the class, but, sorry, I'm trying to fix my camera here. There we go. It's kind of weird, but people that work in hospitals, like, we get assaulted all the time. Like literally, it's so common, it's not even funny. A lot of times, you're dealing with like elderly people that have dementia or whatever, and, they get confused. They don't know where they are. They don't know who you are. And a lot of times they'll think like that they're in their bedroom, and why are you in their bedroom? And they'll hit you or whatever. But so the class is a lot about, I don't want to use the word defending yourself because it's not defending yourself, but it's like breaking people's grip. Like if somebody grabs you by the throat, how to get away without like, inflicting bodily injury on them and things like that. And then they have they do like a whole instructional part where it's just words. And then they do a part where they actually have you stand up and like get with a partner and do like the physical, like somebody grabs you by the neck and you have to break their grip and all this crap. And I always opt out of that part. I'm like, yeah, I have a back injury. I don't want to participate in the physical part of the class. And then it was so funny, like last year, one of the guys that I work with, like there's people from all over the hospital in the class. And, well, this looks like a bear flag, right? On ES right here. I know Shorty got in short at 37. But so anyway, I'm in this class with one of the guys that I work with, and he just would not stop. Like the guy was like, before we started the physical part, he was like, if you have any physical limitations and you don't want to do the physical part, let me know, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And so then I opted out, and I opt out every single year. But this year I'm in the class with like one of my coworkers that knows me. And so the guy's going, row by row in the classroom and skips me when he's calling people out to come up front and do the physical part. And so he goes to the person behind me, and this coworker of mine's like, "What about Drew?" And I like looked at him like, "Shut the fuck up, dude." And then he goes from the person behind me to the next person. The guy, "What about Drew?" And every time he would go to a new person, he's like, "What about Drew? What about Drew? What about?" Like 5 times. And finally, the instructor was like, "Look, he has the right to opt out of the physical part if he wants to, and it's not my place to reveal that information to you." And the guy was like, "Oh." And every time he kept doing it, I kept giving him dirty looks like, "Will you shut the fuck up?" But anyway, he kept asking, "What about me? What about me? What about me?" And yeah, so there's all that. I feel like I'm missing something, and I don't know what it is. Let's load up Quantower, and yeah, it takes too long, David. And not only that, I have to. I mean, this will sound weird, but I live east of Los Angeles, and my work is to the west, and so I work night shift. I drive against traffic, but I have to be there at 8 o'clock in the morning, which means I have to drive in rush hour LA traffic in the morning. My only saving grace is I have my Harley, so I will be going between the cars. Yeah. All right. Yeah, so I have to drive there in rush hour traffic, and then I'm going to have to drive home in pretty heavy traffic as well. And I hate traffic. Oh. Excuse me. I see a place I might be putting an order for short. All right. 26 to 29. Excuse me. I don't know what I'm choking on here. $46 to $49. So I'm going to show something here. When we're drawing HVNs, we're always looking for like that 30-minute to an hour candle closing, full body candle closing above or below. Closing, opening and closing above or below our level, right? Right now we can confidently say this is a buy side HVN because we have a full body candle here, we have a full body candle here, 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 and here, right? Um, so for me, I would like to see this. And if this happens, this is a sell side. I mean, I guess it's really up to you. You could take the buy side high volume node up to the sell side high volume node. I think I would rather take the sell side down to the buy side. Both are good. I just don't like that shorty's short right here. But yeah, I'd like to see this. So after we finish this, I'm probably going to put an order at 446 short down to probably just 430. But you could do 439. I mean 429. All right, and last but not least, we have 72 to 75. They need to regain this pretty quickly here. I'm going to get rid of the single print mid. Shoot. Just because it's also going to be like the midpoint of our box here. Or rectangle, whatever you want to call it. And that's most likely where we're going to want to get into puts if we explore back up to here. Okay, yeah, they immediately bounced. So that's good for going up to here. Tomorrow, calls. I'm kind of watching this whole area here. Oops, that is not what I wanted to do. Alrighty. There you go. Throw this in Keenan's. If you guys have questions, now would be the time. Let me get rid of this chart so I can actually see you guys. Okay. Oh gosh, yeah. It's crazy that people don't understand lane splitting. And it's always the non-motorcycle riders that don't understand lane splitting, that think it's dangerous, right? I mean, you could definitely argue that the way that I lane split, it's dangerous because I go, I lane split at like 80, 90 miles an hour. But let's not tell anybody about that. So like, if we look at this, if you're riding here, right? Are you safer here or are you safer between two cars if you're on a motorcycle? Yeah, so people that don't have a motorcycle, they think this is less safe, right? Because cars might hit you. I'm crazy. Sure. And then I have this so like this is my bike. It's kind of hard to see, but it's huge, right? Compared to the sports bikes. But I pass people in sports bikes all the time because there's a bunch of people that just don't know how to ride. I've been riding since I was 10. I used to ride dirt bikes. But anyway, if you're between cars, right? Like not between here, but between here, where you have a car in front of you and a car behind you, and the person in front of you slams on their brakes and I slam on my brakes and the car behind me is busy looking at their phone, you're dead, right? No questions asked, you're dead. Or even if the person's not looking at their phone and they just don't stop in time, you're dead. You know, person, car, smash between, there's just like, even if you don't die immediately, you're going to bleed out. Whereas here, the worst that's going to happen is like a car is going to change lanes into me and hit me sideways and like knock me sideways. But I've been doing this for so long that basically I didn't incriminate myself. That was allegedly. But so when I lane split, I always look at the person's side mirror and you just look at their eyes, and if they're looking in their side mirror, there's a chance they're changing lanes. And you just kind of, you learn to watch people's eyes in their rearview mirror and watch their eyes in their side mirrors, and you can kind of see what they're doing. But also, like, if when you split lanes, like, if I split lanes like this person is right here, where there's a truck here and a truck here and me, this truck's not going to try to change lanes into this truck, and this truck is not going to try to change lanes into this truck. But if there's enough room, like between this truck and the car in front of it, and there's a car here that might want to get in between them, I need to be aware as a rider and make sure that I know, hey, there's enough room, and a car might turn like really aggressive and quickly and try to go over, like change lanes. And so in those situations where you see that gap, you slow down, and wait until there isn't a gap where a car could go in, and then you keep going by. So there's little like tricks and whatever, and as you do it more, you learn what to watch for. So as far as the news, basically, like, I'm done talking about the charting. Everything should be pretty clear, especially the people that have been here for a while. But like I said, if you guys have questions, now is the time to ask. And if not, I'm just going to talk about my life, basically. If this doesn't interest you, now would be the time to get off. But basically, a lot of you know this, but like, my wife is Chinese. I mean, Eras, that happens everywhere. Drivers are shit in general, but that's a whole nother subject. But excuse me. My wife is Chinese. She came here on a tourist visa, and when she was here, she decided she wanted to live here, so she applied for citizenship through political asylum. And well, actually, we met before that. We met and we started dating, and she applied for citizenship through political asylum while we were dating, and I was helping her, with whatever paperwork and blah, 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 blah. And then as that was going along, we dated the whole time, basically, right? Decided to get married, and so then we applied for citizenship through marriage, which would be a lot easier than political asylum, right? And I don't even think this needs to be said. I'm sure you guys know just by the way that I talk, like, our relationship is legit. Like, she's my wife. We live together. We have a child together. Like, she's the person I want to be with for the rest of my life. And anyway, so anyway, we applied for citizenship through marriage. So she had two citizenship petitions going at the same time. She got interviewed for her citizenship through political asylum, and I guess I don't really know how to word this, but like, the person that interviewed her, for him, something didn't click, right? And so he, and I don't even know what words to use because I don't even understand how any of this stuff works, but basically they were in the process of like possibly trying to extradite my wife, and like, my wife was going to have to go to court and like, let a judge decide if she gets to stay or if she has to leave or whatever else. And again, I don't know the ins and out of this because I've never done anything like this before, and I don't ever want to do it again. But so anyway, she ended up going to court, and I actually wasn't even allowed to be in the room because this was during COVID, so I don't even know exactly what was said. But basically, the gist of it was the judge basically recommended, like, I did talk to him for a minute, and he was saying, like, oh, so you have this petition for, like, through political asylum. And so he was like, and you got married since then, and now you're petitioning through marriage. He was like, basically, like, I'm not your attorney, but your best course of action is probably just to cancel the citizenship through political asylum and just pursue citizenship through marriage. And he basically like asked when I was in the room, like, is that what you guys want to do? And I was like, yeah, sounds good. And so then he asked me to step out again, like due to the COVID thing. And so me and my stepson had to step out of the room. And then they proceeded with everything, like with my wife. And as far as I understand, they canceled that case. Well, this was back in 2022. And we originally applied for citizenship through marriage in like December of 2020. And we've been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And the last correspondence that we got was back in 2022. And all it was that they had received like our petition for citizenship through marriage, and that we were supposed to fill out a new form and pay like $1,500. And so we submitted the new form and paid the $1,500. And then since that, we went to court and canceled the other case through political asylum. And we've just been waiting and nothing. Like no receipt that they received the new form, nothing. And every time I call, like the number that they provide, it's all automated, right? And it just tells you like, oh, like all it would tell me was like, we've received your application and your fingerprints have been processed or whatever, and that's it. I've called like 5 or 6 times, and every time I call, oh, we've received your application and your fingerprints have been processed. And I'm like, what the fuck? And you can't talk to a person. And so today I started calling like for lawyers because I feel like what I feel like has happened is that our like either both cases accidentally got canceled, or something's hung up where they think that the court is still the one in charge of the citizenship thing, right? And anyway, so I went on Google and I'm like, how do you actually talk to somebody at immigrations? And then I typed in Reddit, right? Because Reddit has like every freaking answer. And so before, when I would call, there's this automated robot that thinks it knows everything in the world, and you can't get past it. Like no matter what you say, talk to a person, whatever, it won't let you. And it's like, oh, I can answer all of your questions. Anyway, I went onto Reddit, and it says, as soon as the robot answers, just say info pass. And I literally said info pass, and like 2 seconds later, I'm talking to a live person. And so this was today, right? And so I kind of explained everything, and he looked into it, and he goes, yeah, it looks like the decision is still being handled by the courts. And based on what you're saying, it should be back with immigration. So like the courts forgot to transfer it back over to us. And so basically like we're not doing anything. We're waiting for the courts to make a decision. And so then he goes, like I'll submit this petition, whatever. Somebody from tier 2 support will have, this is single prints. Somebody from tier 2 support will contact you, and they'll work on, they will work on transferring the case back to the courts. I mean, from the courts to the immigration office. And so now I'm stoked because I thought I was going to have to spend a bunch of money and hire an attorney. But it looks like, if they transfer it back over to the immigration office, then I don't think it should be like a very hard decision, like me and my wife have been married for almost 5 years now, and we own a house together, and we now have a child together since we applied. And I have my stepson, he's 10. I feel like that has to be the easiest way to see if somebody's lying or not about being married. Like, just interview the 10-year-old. Kids are not good at lying, right? You can always tell if they're telling the truth or lying. You interview him, he'll be like, yeah, that's my dad. Yeah, we live together. Yeah, they're, my mom and my dad are in love, whatever. Like, yeah, I go every day to music lessons and jujitsu with my dad. Like, I feel like it'll be so cut and dry and simple, or a lot easier at least. So anyway, hopefully it's good news, and hopefully everything goes well. Yeah, so I feel like you look at ES, this is 100% single prints or a strong low. This is not a poor low. Okay. And that would also explain us bouncing right here, right? So anyway, that's just kind of the update on my life. And for those of you that were interested and hung out, I appreciate you guys. It's nice that you guys actually care what's going on with me versus just coming here for charts and levels. And, I always kind of feel weird saying this, but it's really true. Like, you guys are special to me. I do appreciate, the same names day after day after day talking in the chat. I feel like, I have a friendship, a relationship with you guys, and I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate you guys hanging out to hear what's going on with my life. Means a lot. And so, like I said, for people that might be tuning in right now, I'm not going to be on tomorrow. I won't be in the Discord. I won't be chatting. I have a stupid class I have to attend. So I'll be doing that all day. And then I'm working Thursday and Friday. Well, not just to get married. We're married, but I don't want my wife to get kicked out of the country. Honestly, like, I couldn't even imagine, right? So, like, my wife is a stay-at-home mom, right? And she takes care of, our daughter. She takes care of my stepson. I don't even like to call him stepson, but I'm just saying that to quantify what he really is. In my heart, he's my boy, right? And I never refer to him as my stepson. He's my son. But so my wife, and he's homeschooled. So fortunately, like, we're able to manage with just my career and trading. And so my wife stays home with them, handles a lot of the schooling and a lot of the other stuff. And then when I'm not working, of course, I'm helping out with the kids. And my wife does pretty much all of the housework. Amazing woman. I'm very, very lucky. And then, like, I couldn't even imagine, like, if something happened, if they tried to, like, not extradite, because that's like you did something wrong in another country or state and you're going, but whatever, if they tried to, like, kick her out of the country, like, I don't even know what we would do. Like, it would be really hard for me to keep the baby here, and, like, you would literally be breaking up a family, right? Like, craziness. It's hard for me to even think about it because I really don't know what I would do. Like, I really, really, really don't know what I would do. Me getting citizenship in China is, like, next to impossible. The alternative would be, like, I have a house in the south of France. We could go there and try to get citizenship in France. But the whole thing would just be insane. Like, I don't even know what I would do, how I would do it, or anything. My wife is the queen, no questions asked, and she knows it. And anybody that meets us sees how she's treated. Like, I don't think my wife has opened a door in the last 5 years unless I'm not with her. If she's with me, she doesn't open doors. And I think that's, like, the bottom of the barrel, like, on being a gentleman, is just opening a door. But a lot of you know this. I'm English, and my mom raised me, to be a gentleman. Um, and that's something that I take very serious, and something that I pride myself on as a man is knowing that my wife is happy and taken care of. Um, oh, wow. I'm sorry to hear about that, David. But that's really good that you have him. And so then you understand what I'm saying. Like, it would feel weird calling your son your nephew. Um, Same thing with me. It's weird to call him my stepson because he's not. He's my boy. Like, and he knows that. Excuse me. I need to sneeze. Oh, excuse me. So yeah, it's really weird to say stuff like that because I don't feel that way. Like in my heart, he's my son. He's my boy. And that's all that matters. That's what's important to me, at least. And to him, I'm his dad. And, we have a good life together. Anyway, so I feel like it's good news. I want to know that it's good news. Like I'll be a lot happier once the citizenship stuff is done. One other thing I didn't even mention is like my thank you, little mind. My wife, when we got married, she took my last name, but we haven't gone through like the legal paperwork of changing her last name from what it is to my last name. And the reason I haven't pursued that is like, I don't want to change her legal name while we're in the middle of, doing the paperwork for like, citizenship through marriage. I'm sure like most people will probably go through with it and change their name or whatever, but I don't want it to mess anything up. So I've been waiting for her like to get her citizenship, or green card, whatever, so that we can go and change her name and all that stuff, And so it's weird even now, like me and her have different last names and then our daughter has my last name. I would like to make us all like one unit under the same last name, if that makes sense. It's probably like a little bit insignificant, where I don't even care about my last name per se. Like I would happily take my wife's last name, but I just want us all to have the same last name, if that makes sense. I don't care what the last name is. I just want us to be, a family with the same last name, if that makes sense. So everything just feels like so up in the air right now, and I can't wait for some resolution, But it was kind of a stressful day because like I was calling lawyers, and it seems like I would assume with everything that's been going on with like ICE and immigration with Trump in office, it seemed like all of the lawyers that I was calling are extremely booked and busy. And so like when I did call the lawyer today, the second lawyer that I called, like the first lawyer was like, we're not taking any new cases right now. And they recommended another lawyer, and I called them, and they gave me an appointment for September 15th. So basically like a month away just for a consultation, which is crazy. That's showing how busy they are. So I'm also happy that now it looks like I don't need a lawyer. It looks like we figured out, what was holding everything up, and now it can go back to normal, And also we've been like extra patient too, because we got married during COVID. And so we knew like everything was slower and taking longer. Like they went from, taking like a couple, like 6 months to a year to whatever, give green cards, to taking several years. And so we've just been trying to be patient, thinking that it was like catching up from COVID still. But it looks like it was the other thing that I thought, which is that things got lost in the mix. So anyway, all good news. It doesn't look like anybody has any questions, but again, thank you all for hanging out. I appreciate you guys listening. And again, unfortunately, I won't be around tomorrow. I should be trading live Thursday morning. For the people that are in the appropriate discords, I will drop links, and for people in shorties, I'll just be live in the voice chat there. All right. So as always, everybody, much love, much respect. Again, super appreciate you guys that wanted to hang out, and hear about what's going on with my life. And I will see you all tomorrow.